Jason's flour and fancy was an oasis of warm yeast and sugary comfort on a street slowly succumbing to cynical grit. His days were a gentle rhythm of kneading dough, the scent of cinnamon and cardamom clinging to his apron like a familiar friend. He greeted every customer with a soft smile and an encyclopedic knowledge of their preferred pastry. This morning, however, the aroma of baking bread was tainted. Two men, built like brick outhouses stuffed into cheap suits, shouldered their way past Mrs. Henderson and her Pekingese. Their shadows fell long and cold across the sun-dappled display of eclairs. "Nice place you got here, baker," one grunted, his eyes like chips of flint. "Be a shame if anything happened to it. The vipers offer protection for a price." Jason wiped his floury hands on his apron. "Thank you for the offer, gentlemen, but I believe my eclairs are quite capable of protecting themselves." His voice was mild, but a subtle firmness underneath it. The second man, taller and with a cruel twist to his lips, sneered. With a flick of his wrist, he sent a tray of delicate macarons cascading to the checkered floor. "Think about it, doughboy. We'll be back." That night, Jason found the bakery's front window shattered, jagged teeth grinning in the moonlight. Crude graffiti, a coiled snake, the viper's insignia, defaced his cheerful yellow door. He swept up the glass, his movements economical, his jaw tight. As he scrubbed away the paint, the gentle baker's eyes held a glint of something cold and precise, like polished steel. The next day, a sleek black sedan purred to a stop outside. From it emerged Anthony the Serpent Volkov, leader of the Vipers. His tailored suit couldn't hide the predatory grace of his movements. He sat opposite Jason, his smile thin and dangerous. "Mr. Rourke," Volkov began, his voice a silken rasp, "my associates tell me you're uncooperative. This is your final opportunity to sell, at a price I determine, or we simply take it." After Volkov's departure, the aroma of fear briefly choked the bakery's sweetness. Jason locked the door, pulled down the blinds, and walked to the small back office. From a locked strongbox, he retrieved a battered, military-grade satellite phone. As he dialed a memorized number, his posture straightened, his gaze sharpened. The kindly baker receded, replaced by a man of focused intensity, his words clipped and precise. "It's Nightingale, code Umber, requesting asset inventory." Night fell. 5 of Volkov's enforcers, armed with crowbars and malice, approached Flour and Fancy. They expected a sleeping bakery, an easy intimidation. They found the lights off, the door unlocked. The first one through tripped a wire, sending sacks of flour billowing into the air, a blinding white cloud. Coughing, disoriented, they stumbled forward. Jason moved like a phantom in the flour-choked darkness. A strategically spilled puddle of olive oil sent 2 thugs sprawling. He wielded a heavy rolling pin, not to flatten dough, but with the practiced efficiency of a combatant disarming an opponent. A bread peel became an extension of his reach, deflecting a clumsy swing, followed by a precise strike to a pressure point. These weren't the actions of a simple baker. These were the reflexes of a man trained in the unforgiving theater of special operations. The last enforcer, Volkov's hulking lieutenant, lunged through the settling flour, a knife gleaming. The fight was close, brutal, confined by ovens and steel racks. Jason, smaller but faster, used the environment, his intelligence operative's mind analyzing, adapting. A swift feint, a redirected blow, and the lieutenant found himself face down, his wrist expertly trapped, the knife skittering away. Within minutes it was over. The Viper's enforcers lay groaning amidst overturned bins and scattered baking supplies, trussed up with surprising lengths of baker's twine, dusted white like poorly made snowmen. Jason, breathing a little heavily, surveyed the scene. He picked up his regular phone, dialing a number he knew belonged to a detective who still believed in justice. "Anonymous tip," he said calmly. "Attempted armed robbery at Flower and Fancy, 12th and Elm. Suspects apprehended. Oh, and you might want to check out the old waterfront warehouse, Pier 7. Viper's main office. They keep meticulous records." The next morning's news was dominated by headlines. "Viper's crumbles. Syndicate boss The Serpent arrested in major sting." Footage showed a bewildered Volkov being led away in handcuffs, his empire collapsing thanks to an anonymous tip and the surprisingly detailed evidence found at their headquarters. Sunlight once again streamed into Flower and Fancy, the aroma of almond croissants and fresh coffee filling the air. Mrs. Henderson, collecting her usual Danish, remarked, "It's so much quieter around here lately, Jason. Wonderful." Jason smiled, that familiar, gentle smile. "Just the way I like it, Mrs. H." He handed her the pastry, his eyes warm. Later, as he methodically kneaded a batch of sourdough, his strong hands worked the dough with practiced ease. For a fleeting second, as he glanced towards the street, that glint of tempered steel returned to his eyes, a silent promise that his quiet corner of the world would remain just that. Then it softened, and he was once again Jason, the baker, humming softly as he prepared for another day.